Hello and welcome to day 4 of 31 Days of Craftoween, where I make a Halloween themed altered book junk journal. Alright, so before we get started on day 4 spread, we need to open our ceremonial minifigure from the Nightmare Before Christmas Advent calendar. So we're going for day 4. Ow, this is stabbing me. Alright. I see green. Is it going to be Oogie Boogie? Ah, look how cute he is. Oh, that's darling. So this was our last spread that we did. And we're now going to go to the spread for day 4. I've already folded down this page because I wanted to make a triangle pocket on one of these. So I thought, you know what, I'll just fold it already so that way I'll remember that I wanted to do that. And we'll take off our number 4 sticky note. So I just realized that my microphone was like on a different setting than it usually is. So I really hope you could hear that last bit that I was going through. All right, we have our prompts list, and we need to decide at least 3 things that we're going to try to go for on this one. I keep saying we. I mean I, but I guess I feel better if I feel like I'm doing this with someone. Speaking of which, if any of you are doing the Craftoween, please post pictures on Instagram using the hashtag 31 Days of Craftoween, and or tag me at Paginator 24 so I can see what you come up with. That's super amazing, I am sure. I think I'd like to use a napkin today, so we're going to go ahead and put a check by that. And let's add some stitching. So I have to use either real or faux stitching somewhere on there. And let's see. Oh, pocket. We already know we're going to make a pocket. And I want to also add raven to today's list, because if I get all through this without putting a raven in here, I'm going to be really mad at myself. So this is actually going to be perfect. I have this napkin with a raven on it, and a skull in a jar, and a spider in a web, and some old script. It is the same image above and below, repeated all around the napkin, and I just want one of them. I learned from Barbara the best way to split apart napkins. That means I need to grab a couple of things, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got some double-sided tape, and I want to, oops, that was supposed to go better. This is just pulling up the extra ply. This is a dollar store napkin, so there's only 2 ply. A lot of napkins will have 3, so you'd need to do that again. But this is just down to a single layer. And then the next thing we need is a water source. I'm using this water brush. And getting the napkin wet should make it just tear exactly where I want it. So, ooh. I'm just trying to go along the edges of where I want to tear it. And look at that! Smooth like butter. Sorry, I am even more inclined to just randomly sing when I'm crafting than when I am talking about books, so I'm really sorry if that's annoying. Alright, do I want this to be on this side or on this side? Maybe up at the top here, and then build some kind of grounding for the bird in the bottle to sit on. Okay, so I want to trim off a bit of this as well. Alright, I think that this is going to go here. Maybe we're in some kind of laboratory and this is like a mad scientist's lab and this is his pet raven. And he stands on the shelf next to the bottle. I'm just going to try to get glue stick everywhere. It's still a little bit obnoxious to do this with the other paper clips in the other pages, but I want them to stay there where they're at. So it's just something we have to work around. All right, we did have a little bit of bubbling happening here, and that's disappointing, but it's also not the end of the world. It adds character, right? Sure, let's go with that. All right, so before I can glue this down and make a pocket, I need this background figured out. So we've already got a raven and we've used a napkin, and this is going to be a pocket. So the only thing that's unknown on our to-do list for sure is stitching. I'm going to hold off on that thought for a minute. Next item of business will be to find a background for the inside of this pocket. All right, so I found this piece of paper here, and I really like the richness of it. It's kind of a tapestry similar to what we did on page 1 here, and it's very dark, which I think will contrast well with the white napkin here. So it doesn't need to be all the way down to the page because the pocket will cover it up. I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this down, and then we can glue the pocket closed. Okay, so that's glued in and the pocket is glued down. This flap is also glued down, so that it is now a fully functioning pocket. Ooh, maybe the glue isn't dry yet, but it will be a fully functioning pocket. Okay, so we need to finish this, and we need to make something to go in here, probably a journaling card or tag. I really don't like how this page is curling up, but when I attach it to the page on the back of it, it should steady that down. You might remember in my intro video I showed you this cute thing that I had gotten from a Snail Mail pen pal of mine, and I wanted to include this as a journaling card, but it was colorful, so I made a black and white copy, and I think that'll be one of the things that'll go in here. It's a little bit small to be the only thing, but I'm going to go ahead and do a stitch border around it that will help us get the stitching element, and we will move on from there because right now I don't know what else to do. Okay, so I did go ahead and stitch around this and ink it as well, and then I also decided while I had the machine out I would go ahead and make this coffin shaped card and sew around the edges and ink that as well. So these can both be tucked inside of here, and I can journal on them now or later. Again, we have a lot of unknowns up in the air. I kind of feel like I put a Sally quotation on the last one, and since I was thinking of like a mad scientist, we need something from Dr. Finkelstein. I have a page of some Nightmare Before Christmas quotes, so I'm going to see if I have any good ones from Dr. Finkelstein, and maybe that will be something else to add to this spread. Alright, so I've got two that are possibilities. I have How Perfectly Marvelous, Curiosity Killed the Cat, you know. And that's twice this month you've slipped Deadly Nightshade into my tea and run off. I'm thinking this should be the one. Oh, you know what I have? I have a Dr. Finkelstein playing card from a game, and I never play the game, but we could cut around him, and the only color we'd see would be a little bit of red from his mouth. Yes, he shall be the first actual illustrated NBC character in this junk journal. While I'm cutting this out, I want to remind you there is a playlist linked below if you want to check out all of the videos in this series, if you've missed any, or are just joining us with this one. I have other days of crafting for you to see if you would so choose. Just get around his little feet and wheels, and we're off. Now we need to make a shelf for this bird and the bottle to stand on, and we need something to be in the background before we put these guys down. Could I use this black fabric to make a shelf? The only problem with this fabric is that it is netted, so it might take several layers to look like a shelf. Okay, I'll think about this and maybe come back to it. I like the idea of having some kind of fabric. I've got a couple things. Black denim, which has been sitting in my craft room for a while. I also have this black velvet, which I think I like best of the three choices. Black velvet in that little boy's smile. Is that how that song goes? I don't know the words to this one. Alright, we're going to start gluing down pieces. We've got our kitchen witchery poster. Maybe Sally has something like this as she's working. How did she get stuck working for Dr. Finkelstein? Like, did he make her? Am I remembering that right? If so, it's like the one thing that he did well. That guy is so weird. Okay, I'm gonna glue him down right there. Okay, I really feel like this side of the page is done. We've got our two journaling cards here, and we've got a fully decorated pocket with a great quote and a character. Here, I feel like we're still missing something. I don't know if we just need like a touch of black up here, or I'm not sure what's missing there. What I think I'm gonna do is just get up and walk around for a little bit. Sometimes that helps. If not, like, I'll go look through my ephemera and see if there's anything that I think fits with this page. Yep, and we'll just kind of move forward with that. So I will be back in a couple of minutes. I found two enamel pins. Both of these are from Crate boxes, and I have removed the posts on the back, or as much as I could anyway. And these are going to be added here to be some elements on Dr. Finkelstein's work table, as if they're just sitting there waiting for him to work. I'm not 100% sure what glue is going to be the best for this, whether I want to try tacky glue first and then hot glue second. I think that's probably the best way to go. So we'll see what we can do here. So I'll just hold this here for a bit to get some pressure, and hopefully the glue will hold and I won't have to get out the hot glue gun, because I would really prefer to not do that. This kind of also makes me wonder, okay, so is this raven, like, is he getting ready to maybe eat a bug out of the flowers on this skull's head? He seems to be looking down at that item, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just making crap up here. It's what I do. And then we have these crystals. There is a little bit of light blue on them, but I'm going to let that go. We'll pretend it's silver. I might really regret using these pins later, but for now I think it's kind of a fun way to add some items to the table for Dr. Finkelstein, well, however we say his name. After those set, I think I'll go around this edge again with the Black Soot Distress ink. Other than that, I think we're done here. A couple days ago, I had thought that maybe I was going to have lace on every page, but then I didn't end up putting it on the one from yesterday, and this one I just don't think it needs any. So maybe the next time we'll have some lace, or maybe it'll be a few pages. I don't know. I want to just take a peek at that one and see if it still looks halfway decent. I was having some struggles with getting the paint to dry. The white speckles were actually Distress ink, and it just did not want to dry on the paint swatch cards. So some of the paint actually got wiped off of those because it was starting to smush all over the place. All right, so let's come back to our prompt list. We included a raven and we included a napkin and stitching and a pocket. So we definitely hit all 4 of our prompts. Is there anything else that we can add? We can do another check mark for Nightmare Before Christmas. This thing says pics on phone and I forgot to take it off of there, so more than I need to apologize for, but I had some pictures on my phone that had cute little sayings on them and stuff, and I totally forgot that that was on the list. So sorry. Oh, there's a spider up here. So yeah, we got quite a few prompts. Like I said, I will be adding some more black soot along these edges here, but otherwise we're done with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up and wish you all a wonderful, magical, and crafty day. Spooky day. One of those things. Happy crafting and reading. Adios.